I've seen way too many gamers grab a cheap, off-the-shelf UPS for a few $100s, only to watch their whole build shut down the moment the power dips or the battery runs out. The regret comes fast, a sudden loss of power while you're in the middle of a raid, or a corrupted save because the backup didn't hold long enough. That's why I wanted to see if the CyberPower PR3000RTXL2UHVAN actually feels like a smarter buy for a high-performance gaming rig instead of just another false promise. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't a budget UPS. It's a 3000VA/3000W unit that sits in a 2U rack-mountable chassis, which immediately tells you the target audience. People who have multiple Hydra components, maybe a dual PC streaming setup, a workstation, and a few peripherals that all need clean, uninterrupted power. If you're running a single mid-range gaming PC with a modest GPU, you'll probably be overpaying for capacity you'll never tap. On the flip side, if you've invested in a top-tier RTX 4090, a higher fresh rate monitor, an external audio interface, and perhaps a capture card for streaming, the extra headroom can actually be a lifesaver. The biggest practical strength here is the mix of outlets. For NEMA 620, our receptacles give you 20-amp circuits that can handle the power-hungry graphics cards and CPUs we see in modern rigs. The two NEMA 620R outlets are twist-lock, which is a nice touch if you've got a rack or want a more secure connection for equipment that doesn't move around. In real-world use, I've seen gamers plug their PSU into one of the 620R outlets, a monitor into another, and still have room for a high-end external SSD enclosure and a USB-C charging hub. That flexibility eliminates the need for a separate power strip, reducing clutter and keeping the whole setup on a single line that the UPS can protect. Another point that matters beyond the headline specs is the automatic voltage regulation, IVR. Power spikes and sags are common in older houses, and they can subtly degrade component lifespan even if the system never actually shuts down. AVR smooths out those fluctuations without dipping into the battery, which means the battery stays fresh for the moments when you truly need it, like a full outage. In my own testing, a brief brownout that would normally cause a CPU to throttle was completely invisible to the system. The UPS handled it silently, and the gaming session kept running. The smart part of this UPS is the app integration and the rotatable LCD panel. The LCD gives you a quick glance at input voltage, battery charge level, estimated runtime, and load percentage. Because it tilts, you can mount the unit in a rack or place it on a desk and still see the readout without straining. The companion app pushes notifications to your phone when the battery hits a critical level or when the UPS switches to battery mode. That's handy if you're stepping away for a snack and want to know whether you have enough juice to finish a match or a stream. It also logs power events, which can be useful for troubleshooting if you suspect your ISP's line is flaky. Now, no product is perfect, and the PR3000RTXL2UHVAN has a few hidden trade-offs. Its size is the first. At 2U, it's not something you can just toss under a desk. You either need a small rack or you'll have to allocate a decent amount of desk space. The weight adds another consideration. This unit can feel like a small dumbbell once you unplug it for moving. For a gamer with a minimalist desk setup, that can be a deal-breaker. Runtime is another practical factor. The battery is sized for a 3000W load, which means if you truly run the unit at its maximum capacity, you'll get only a few minutes of backup, enough to save your work, but not enough to finish a long gaming session. In typical use, most gamers will be drawing far less than the full 3000W, maybe 500800W with the core PC and a monitor. Under those conditions, you can expect roughly 1015 minutes of runtime, which is more than enough to gracefully shut down or switch to a generator. The key is to understand that you're paying for capacity, not